Okay, now to Sheldon Neal with an update from the other side of the country, a real estate agent in Toronto.
Thank you so much, Lorna. Some Canadians are finding it near impossible to break into the housing market, and skyrocketing prices are shutting some hopeful new home buyers out. I spoke with a realtor in the field to get a layout of one of Canada's booming markets. Yes, I'm talking about Toronto. We begin by taking a look at the fluctuating costs of properties. Let's kind of look at a property and say, you know, a typical property, what it might value at now and what it might have looked like maybe 3 years ago, so we can kind of see that jump in price.
Well, this is a 2-bedroom, 2-bath condo with parking and a locker located in Toronto's West End. It's currently listed for $549,000 and it's likely to go for quite a bit more. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if it went for $100,000 over asking.
And 3 years ago, what would have it been priced that would have been significantly lower, so we could just see that?
Definitely. I mean, a unit like this, when someone bought it pre-construction, which would have been roughly 5 years ago, they'd probably be paying closer to $320,000.
Wow, wow. Now, that's for a condo. For viewers who are watching, they're like, hey, I don't want to buy a condo. I'm looking at just a detached property.
Yeah.
Are they experiencing that same pivot in price jump over the years as well?
Definitely, yeah,
Wow.
Especially in the last year. I mean, Toronto's been experiencing double-digit growth for the last 3 years at least. And in the last year, we experienced roughly 33% growth over last year.
Is there any hope to cool this housing market? Is there any hope?
Well, hope, I mean, there's always hope.
Yeah.
I think the rate of growth that we're experiencing, especially 33% in the long term, that's not sustainable. I do feel that there's going to be, I guess if you'd like to call it, a cooling in terms of the rate of growth year over year, not continuing to increase by such astronomical numbers. Mm-hmm. But in terms of a cooling, I don't see prices going down.
Wow. And what strategies do you think new home buyers who are looking at this, watching this and saying, okay, it's not going to go down, it's going to keep rising, condo or housing, what strategies can they take?
It's really good to have a realtor by their side that's educated about the process and can really guide them through and prepare them emotionally for the process.
Wow.
Because,
wow.
I mean, most of the buyers that I work with, at least, you're offering 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times sometimes before you're successful on a bid. And for a new buyer, that's extremely stressful. They're already going into a new market that they don't have experience with. And then to fall in love with a property enough to offer every last penny on it, only not to get it over and over again, can really, really take a toll.
I want to read something here. The federal government is on side with the Ontario government to tax foreign home buyers in and around Toronto, kind of as a strategy to cook the market, get things under control, but it says it won't be replicated on a national level because it's unnecessary in the vast majority of the country. What are your thoughts on that?
My thoughts personally are it's unnecessary in Toronto as well and in the Toronto market. There's been quite a bit of data that's come out from the Toronto Real Estate Board about foreign ownership statistics. You know, one survey said less than 5%, another was closer to 2.5%. And of the properties owned by foreign ownership properties, a lot of them are actually people in the United States. And a lot of them as well are those that are new to Canada that are purchasing that property for their primary residence. So I think if they are to go ahead and apply it, I think it might create a little bit of panic, and I've been sensing that people are asking what's going to happen, and they're looking to Vancouver. What happened in Vancouver? Well, there was a bit of a panic and a slow, but that market rebounded, you know, within a few months. I think in the long run, it's not really going to help the problem in any way. It'll bring a little bit more money in for the government, but I don't think as much as they're probably expecting.
Wow,
yeah.
Very a lot to think about. Thank you so much for your time.
My pleasure.
We really appreciate it.